So, motivation. And finally, I want to address this interaction. I want to address, so not motivation. So I've highlighted motivation. So now I want to highlight these three bottom things. So you have, most of the time what happens is that we have automatic rapid cycling. So let's say that you suddenly start sneezing or coughing. You're sneezing and the thought goes, oh my God, 2 weeks ago, I shook hands with somebody, or I walked by somebody who traveled, and you suddenly start feeling of panic, right? And then suddenly you start feeling like your breath is getting short and you can't breathe, which again gives you a thought, oh my God, I have it. And you get even more panicked and your breath gets even shorter. So notice, it's a rapid cycling. Another version of it is interpersonal, a classic interpersonal conflict. You and your spouse or partner or roommate have very different ideas of what it means to be careful in the time of Corona. So you think that what is careful is not to leave the house unless it's absolutely necessary, and your friend or your roommate or spouse thinks that being careful simply means not going to group things, and that walking around and going to stores is okay. Okay, so that's going to create a lot of conflict. And let's say that your your roommate or spouse comes in again into the door, they've gone shopping or something, and they walk in, and suddenly you're going to have thought, oh my God, I can't believe that he or she is going to jeopardize my health by being so not careful. You would feel very angry and upset, and then you might yell at the person. Okay, so and in this situation, there's going to be a lot of these conflicts. So there's going to be a lot of both interpersonal states and interpersonal conflicts that are perfect points where you can practice this. So what would you practice? What you would practice is that you stop. So let's say that you stop it before it gets to behavior. So oftentimes we can't stop ourselves. It's like somebody leaves a dirty dish and you just yell at them, I can't believe you left that dirty dish there. Now, there's a bunch of things that happen. I thought that leaving a dirty dish on a couch or somewhere is inconsiderate. It made me very angry, and then I yelled. So what we want is to catch ourselves early in the cycle. So if you could catch yourself before you yell at your roommate or spouse when they come back from being outside, right, and communicate to them, that would be good. So you get angry, but you say, look, I'm very, very angry. I would like to yell at you, but I just want you to know that I'm very upset, very angry about this thing that you've done. So that's one thing you can do. If you get very good at that, at catching yourself before the behavior, you could try to catch yourself before the emotion. So that is, you notice the thought, okay, they walked in from the outside, they're putting you under threat, and now you could get angry and scared. Instead, you communicate the thought. You say, look, you just walked in. It's likely to make me angry and scared. And I really need you to know that, because this is how it's affecting me. And then if you work even harder at that, you would employ this motivation piece, that even the thought would not be he or she is trying to endanger me, rather than he or she has just walked in and I don't know why they're doing this, but I can ask. Okay, so I can ask and I can communicate earlier and earlier in the cycle. If you're dealing with interpersonal states, you communicate to yourself. So when you start coughing, instead of this whole panic, you can say, I'm feeling anxious because I coughed. It makes me feel like it's going, and on and on. So you can have communication journal where you communicate with yourself about this interaction. Most of our conflicts are these interactions that go, that cycle without us being able to stop them. So if you spend this time being able to become aware of your motivation, okay, and at the same time learning how to stop this automatic cycling, it would be enormously useful for your self-development for the rest of your life. And this is the perfect time to practice it. Now, we have a couple more minutes. Let me take a couple more questions. Can we be in the development system if our survival is threatened? Yes, Yes, and our I know this sounds a little strange, but our survival is always threatened. We're mortal beings, and oddly enough, although it's not at the front of our consciousness, we can be, we are, our survival is always threatened, and we can be in this development system. It simply means a different way of being. And what you will notice is that when you're in a different way of being, the threat, you notice it's not like you have forgotten that you could die or that something could happen or that you might not be employed. It's that that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is for you to act in the way that your developmental system is telling you. And you can practice that. So often I find that for people who find it very, very hard to stay at home to protect themselves, sometimes just reminding themselves that they are staying to protect others is suddenly it snaps them out of it. They say, oh, you know what, actually, I'm here because I don't want to endanger other people. And what I find so magical and moving about it is that we're protecting unseen others. We don't even know who are these others that we're protecting when we stay inside, and yet we do it anyway. And so there you have this like a moment of developmental system in action. And what you'll notice in that very, very moment, your trying to protect yourself will drop off. Obviously, you're protecting yourself by doing it, but there was something else that has taken you up, and that other thing has dominated you. Now we have only one more minute, so I just want to wrap up. So for those of you who have joined halfway through, I'm going to send a recording of this to everybody after, okay? And all the questions that you're writing in, I will try to address some way by making a short videos answering all of your questions. To my Rodman students, I miss you and I hope to see you soon in class. And until then, I hope you take care of yourself and that you take care of each other. Okay, bye.